Occurred, March 25, 2020. 2040 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, fireball. Duration, 6 minutes. 3 pulsating reddish fireballs in Indianapolis skies facing north. Me and my husband saw first one of 3 pulsating reddish fireballs that manifested low and began to shoot directly up vertically, then slowed down to a stop. After that it got to a higher elevation, it began to slowly pulsate out. Before completely disappearing, there was a second one that came up exactly where the first one did and followed the trajectory with a few minor dug fences, and then finally the last one did the same.
Occurred, April 26, 2020. 22:10 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, sphere. Duration, 60. Dozens of white orbs traveling in single file. I came outside to get a look at the moon and Venus. Then I noticed a trail of smaller bright, white dots, about the size of other stars, lined up straight, and traveling upward and to the left from my view. There were 20 to 30 of them. I missed counting to take out my phone to film.
Occurred, April 27, 2020. 10:14 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, formation. Duration, 10 seconds. 15 glowing objects in a straight line disappeared one after another. They were traveling from east to south very fast. On April 27, around 10 p.m., I was going on my nightly jog and I couldn't believe what I saw. I noticed a perfect straight line of about 15 stars. I stopped because not only I noticed the line was perfectly straight, but the one on the end was red. Suddenly the light started moving fast in horizontal formation, and one by one each object disappeared one right after another until all objects were gone.
Occurred, May 26, 2020. 22:32 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, flash. Duration, 90 seconds. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. There was an aura or haze around the object. There were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. Bright green blinking light rapidly crossed the sky. 4 adults, 2 with PhDs, 1 in a scientific field, simultaneously observed a rapidly moving green pulsing light moving across the sky almost directly overhead. The speed of the flashing green light was 4 to 5x faster than the commercial aircraft on far approach to Kind, Indianapolis International Airport, flying directly overhead just minutes before. After one adult in the group asked, "What is that?" the blinking immediately changed from once per second to once every 3 seconds, but the course, roughly southeast, across Franklin Township, Marion County, remained constant, as did speed. The object moved from northwest to southeast across the entire visible night sky in about 90 seconds. It was far too bright to be a meteor or satellite. It was blinking brighter than the commercial aircraft at 2K 4K altitude, and was moving far too fast to be an aircraft.
Occurred, August 26, 2020. 21:45 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, light. Duration, 1 minute. Bright light on southern Indianapolis from east to west. There was a power failure around my block, so with the family we went outside to enjoy more of the fresh air. I took my binoculars, 50 by 10, perhaps to show the kids airplanes, Jupiter and some stars. We are south of the Indianapolis International Airport, so usually there's a lot of light pollution. Light pollution was still plentiful, however there was a flight coming from south towards the airport and I asked my son to have a look with the binoculars. As the flight passed right on top of our heads, I noticed this very bright light approaching from northeast, over 2 o'clock if pointing north. I excitedly asked my son that was using the binoculars to look at it. Wife, sons and little daughter were there. Few seconds later I got the binoculars. When looking this object, roughly at the brightness of Jupiter, I didn't see any blinking light or discernible light, so I thought it could have been the ISS. I have seen it before, but with a 10 times magnification is a bit squarish. I have seen it before. I asked my elder daughter to pass me her phone so that I could check the ISS using her data, but to my surprise it was on an orbit to South America, hence, I'm writing this. When I checked the phone, the time was 9:56 p.m, thus my reported time is approximated. If possible to trace that airplane passing overhead, the time would be found precisely. 15 minutes later there was another less bright UFO. I call it such because I checked it with binoculars and was not a plane. This was from the direction of the airport towards south. On addition, I have seen an object following the same path before, but not this bright. And few minutes later the same will go in the other direction. Sincerely, they seem too bright to be satellites. At this main one I'm reporting I'm pretty sure was way too bright. After the second UFO, my wife started complaining about me being too excited and noisy, and told me that she has seen it multiple times, once even during the day, just a light, same direction.
Occurred September 30th 2020 23:08 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, light duration, 10 seconds. Characteristics: there was an aura or haze around the object leaving boyfriend's workplace. Turn left onto Producer's Lane. See ball of light streak across the sky heading north, then make a hard right, then streaked out of view heading east.
Occurred the 11th of September 2020 1925 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, light duration, ongoing characteristics: there were lights on the object. There was an aura or haze around the object. There were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. Animals reacted to the event. Hundreds of flying orbs across Indianapolis sky. I looked up in the sky around 1925 and noticed dozens of lights moving. Thought they might be airplanes, but they are so close, and now there might be hundreds, and that has to be dangerous for planes. I recorded video on my phone, but quality in night looks like a ton of orbs flying around. Possibly Starlink satellites, but not sure. Never seen this many things flying at once. Looks like an invasion.
Occurred April 17, 2021 21:45 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, light duration, hours. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. The object changed color all the time. See this UFO outside of my house. It has been outside of my house for about 2 to 3 years now. I see all throughout the year at many times throughout the night, and it just flickers and sits there. Now what got my attention of this UFO is the flickering, but after dismissing it a few times I started to see different colors in these flickers, and so I was like, let me look at this closer. Upon looking closer at it, it mesmerizes you with a perfect circle of flashy red, and blue, and greens. It's like, how is it flashing like this and no one can see it, or it goes unnoticed? Anyhow, finally wanted to report this thing. It sits in the southwest to southeast skies, and it flickers like a star, but if you look close, it's full of colorful flashes.
Occurred May 18, 2021 8:20 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, other: I was driving downhill, looked up in front of me, it was hovering in the air, staying in one place. The second drawing from the man from Lafayette, Indiana is exactly how the sides of it looked like. It looked scary. The one he said he dreamed it. About time I got my camera ready, it was out of sight. I dropped my son off to DeMar, came back and it was gone.
Fall Creek and Lee Road area.
Occurred the 10th of July 2021 9:20 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, circle duration, 9:28 Characteristics: there were lights on the object. There was an aura or haze around the object. The object changed color. 2 lights. No sound. 45% between them. Hovering over neighborhood. I was upstairs in the bedroom watching Netflix. My wife was downstairs when she yells up, look out the window in the backyard. I say what she says, look in the backyard. I think she wants me to come downstairs to look, so I head that way. She says look out the bathroom window. We have a huge window in our bathroom. She comes up, we look, and there are 2 objects in the sky at a 45-degree angle, lights at this point moving across the sky to the west. I try to take a picture, but the camera for whatever reason would not capture the image. We ran out back and they were still in sight. It was dusk and they were no longer lit up. No sound, no erratic movement, just floating to the southwest. I ran around to the front of the house and continued to watch them. I had my phone and thought I was recording, but unfortunately, I must not have hit the record button. My original photos did capture the lit objects from the bathroom window.